G'day and welcome to the Josh Wade Show. My name's Josh Wade. Thanks for joining us. Thank you to The Siege for letting us use the theme song. We love it. We appreciate it. Guys, if you want to join our private Facebook group, please do help out the show. One of our cameras just shit itself, so I'm borrowing every fucking other Tom, Dick and Harry's camera. We're on a fisheye this week, so, I mean, I look like a fucking lifestyle vlogger. Thank you, Alex Hayes. We do a private live stream every week in the Facebook group. If you want to come say g'day, please do. There's a great group of people there. Everyone's got all different opinions, so come and fucking make yours matter as well. Join the group today. Today on the show, I have Lewis Spears. Lewis, thanks for joining us.
No worries. It's great to be back.
Yeah, and radio is a bit weird that, like, you're the radio man and
I know.
You're being interviewed.
Hey,
now.
don't make it sound like I'm fucking professional. We don't know what we're doing in the radio.
No.
I don't think, I view it in my own head. I don't get paid to do radio. I get paid to not say cunt for 2 hours. Right. That's my real job.
Great.
That's the hard bit.
Yeah, all right. Now, you've been doing that for a little bit. You've just, you've come up. You wanted to have a chat about the DVD and everything that's going on there. Congratulations on everything. It's been a really long process from going from starting the fundraiser, but even before that, having to get the material and workshop it all and get it to the point that you could start a fundraiser to get it all going. And now it's at that point where it's basically at the completion of that, and you've just really got to finish sending everything out. And at that point, you're done. So I guess today I wanted to talk a little bit about doing something that you want to do, or putting something in your head, something that you think's impossible, something you don't know if you're going to be able to get there, but making something unrealistic become reality. So take me back. When did you decide that you wanted to do comedy, and how the fuck did it lead to this point?
Well, with stand-up, I always knew I wanted to do stand-up since I was 12. I saw, my mum took me to see Lano and Woodley, their farewell show, and I was like enthralled with not only them performing. I was like, what's this? The first time I've ever seen stand up, but also because it was their last show and they'd been performing for years and years. It was the connection with their audience that I was like, fuck, everyone in this theater loves them and knows them and feels like they're part of this journey. I want to build something like that. I don't think I thought that when I was 12, but looking back on it now that I'm an adult, I think that's what really got me, was one, the performing part of it, but also the connection with the audience. That was when I was 12 I just fell in love with stand up, and then I always wanted to do Class Clowns, which is like a stand up comedy competition in Australia, but I never had the balls to do it. And then I kind of fell into the online thing, just doing trolling and fucking around. And then I did that for a whole year before I realized, hang on, what I'm doing, all the trolling and the videos and stuff, that's comedy. And then that like switched a light bulb in my head where I was like, I can turn this online thing into my stand-up. Become a stand-up comedian. I guess that's how I started. I guess something that most people don't know, and I'm interested to delve into, is your childhood, like growing up before that point of you seeing stand-up comedy. Like, how did you become you? So, you're born in Melbourne. Parents, what are their names? It's like, like that was the instant go-to. I was going to say, what are their names? But no, they're still fucking. Sandra and Simon.
And you have a good relationship with your parents. You got a brother as well.
We've got a really good family. I don't think I realized that until I've spent time with lots of other people. Where I think my family unit's quite weird in that we got a weird family where every single person in the family is an individual just doing their own thing.
Right.
But we're in the same room. Like Christmas at our family goes for 2, sometimes 3 hours, and then we just go and do our own thing. Right. And no one's mad. No one's sick of each other. No one doesn't want to hang out. It's like, we did Christmas, and then I'm like, I'm going to play video games. And Mum's like, I'm going to read this. Dad goes and builds guitars and smokes weed. And my brother plays the drums.
So, I mean, was it a funny household growing up? Like, was there, or was it a, strict household? Like, where do you come from? Where does humor enter your life before?
I'd say that humor comes from my mum.
Yeah.
And my mum's a shit stirrer. Like,
Yep.
that's where I get it from.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she's always fucking with people. Like, I shouldn't tell this story, but I will. We've got crazy neighbors.
Yeah.
Like, crazy hippie neighbors. They grow their own shit. They have
Yeah.
fucking roosters. They homeschool their kids. They're nuts.
Right. Yeah.
And our other neighbors, this is years ago, they were having like a party for all the neighborhood to come around, and they put invitations in everyone's letterbox. Mum didn't want to go, and the crazy people didn't get an invitation because they're nuts. No one really likes them.
Yeah.
So Mum took her invitation and put it in the crazy people's letterbox, and they showed up to the party thinking that they were invited, but everyone at the party were like, holy fuck, these people have gate crashed it. This is awkward. And Mum thought that was fucking hilarious. And so did I.
So I guess you like doing things for, your mum and yourself. It seems like shit stirring for your own amusement as well. Do you feel?
Yeah, I just...
Like, no one would have got that at the party other than her as much as everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, for what I do, all the shit stirring, it's just kind of for my own personal amusement.
Jesus, what was that?
Something's crashed down.
I don't know. Fucking 9/11. A plane just hit the fucking building, but the bombs didn't go off to bring it down. I don't know what that was, so we'll just leave it. It was a candle. Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's what you get for having candles, man.
No, I was given to me. That's the other thing. This is
no one buys a candle.
No, I didn't buy it, but
Smells great.
my friend, a girl, gave it to me. Just to clarify, it was a woman.
Yeah.
I don't have a male friend that buys me candles.
Yeah, that'd be a bit sus.
That'd be a little bit concerned there, but and she gave it to me because she got given it, and she said it smells too boy-y, so I should have it. I don't know. Tell me. I agreed.
Yeah, it smells like if you put like links on your nutsack. It's definitely got that boy.
It does. It just doesn't smell like something you'd go into a girl's. Oh no, there's a scent of feminine in there.
It's a little bit feminine, but then it's a little bit jockstrap.
Just the way I like it. Alex Hayes is here. What else is okay? So, your family. How's your dad? Is he a funny person?
Not
Was he
really.
quite stern or just?
My dad's. I'd say, what I get from my dad is being quite quiet and by yourself.
Yep.
I guess he's a very just by himself type of person. He doesn't have too many friends. Not that he wants friends and never got them. He just kind of just does his own thing.
Time.
Like he's got, like what I get from my dad is probably what people don't see, where it's like I get obsessed with just an interest and I just pursue that. Like at the moment I'm obsessed with fucking Warhammer miniatures and painting them and like that real nerdy obscure thing. No one I know likes it. I don't give a fuck that no one I know likes it. And my dad is very much like that, where he just gets obsessed with a thing. At the moment his thing was building guitars. He built like 12 guitars in a row. Now he's building weapons. He builds bows and swords and shit.
I guess that's the thing, is like everyone has that one thing that they like to do, and obviously you said the Warhammer stuff. My mum was her partner for like 8 years, ended up doing that, and we thought it was the most bizarre thing. He was like a school principal, and like he would play World of Warcraft, and like
I also play that.
You do you still play it?
Yeah. I was actually in disguise the whole time. That was me with your mum.
Nice. Okay, cool. Yeah, no wonder you're a cunt. No, and he'd do this. We didn't know what Warhammer was, and he'd come home this one day, and
it's next level.
He'd taken over the outdoor like patio table with just these millions of these tiny little figurines that he would just sit there and paint, and we'd just be like, "Cool, man!" Like, well, I don't know what that is, but looking into it, he'd then go. So, do you take them and do you go to like battle with them or something like?
Well, I've only just started getting into it because one, it's really expensive.
Yeah,
and I'm only now like in a place where I can afford to buy food and interest.
Yes,
which is great. But so you build them from
Yep.
like little pieces, and then you customize them, and then you paint them, and then they have rules, and then you play the
Right.
game. Like there's so many levels to it.
Right.
And, like the painting can get insane, so can the gaming. Like there's just so many different levels. There's also books and shit
Yeah.
that I read. Like I love reading science fiction.
Yeah.
Like I'm just so into it. Like I don't know. I can't remember my girlfriend's birthday, but I can remember like 40,000 years of political warfare in a world that doesn't exist.
Yeah. No, see, but I'm really fascinated by this. So what other things before that? What were the things that you were
That I
interested
was into,
in? Yeah,
like when I was a
that.
kid?
Yeah, like those weird obsessive things.
Yeah. So I was into like Yu-Gi-Oh cards.
Yeah, I
I
had
was
that.
really into for a minute. I was into when I was younger. Before that, I was into Hot Wheels cars.
Right.
I had hundreds of Hot Wheels cars,
Yeah.
and I'd build tracks all around the house.
Yeah.
What else was I into? I was in then for a bit. I was really into like Star Wars, not the movies, just
Yeah.
like the universes outside of that.
Right. Okay.
I played World of Warcraft. I've just started playing it again. Like I don't know. I just go through phases where I go heavy into something and
Yeah.
then take a break and then
Yeah.
return. Like comic
Yeah.
books was another thing
Yeah.
that I still do at the moment.
Yeah.
And I think now the new thing for me is just like reading a lot of books. Like I
Right.
love reading at the moment,
Yeah.
which is cool.
Yeah. What happened with that camera? You just have to.
Data keeps dropping out. It says recording cancelled due to limitation of the writing speed of the card.
It's probably on 4K. If everyone's listening, see, we've also got really CBF on this show, so like I always tell Connor just to leave this in here because it's the rawest shit. So anyone listening on audio is like, oh, lovely, another fuck up. Here, let me.
Oh,
Lewis,
dude, go for it. Yeah, I'll just talk. My podcast sucks. My
Yeah, okay,
podcast
go.
is just like that. Like I just set up a camera and I have a microphone and it's me by myself just yelling. I mean, really, with Josh gone, this is more comfortable for me. I'm much more enjoying this. This is so much more natural to me just talking to fucking no one than talking. Well, I got heaps. So yeah, my podcast sucks, man. Sometimes I'll just end up walking away from the camera and the microphone trying to find my asthma inhaler because I always need it because I make myself laugh at dumb shit. And then I end up having to find it. And I don't know. I think I just end up saying fuck you to the audience and going to get it, which is quite similar to what Josh has done. So I'm really glad we're on the same wavelength here. Hey, if you don't come back, I'm just going to start plugging stuff. So my comedy special, it's available at loosebeers.com/watch.
That'll do. Thanks for coming.
I got one out.
It was the main one anyway. No,
Yeah.
we'll get back to that. But okay, so you've had the Yu-Gi-Oh cards. I was into Yu-Gi-Oh cards for a
Yeah.
bit. I had a definite fascination with them.
Did
That
you
was
ever
a
get into Duel Masters?
No, see that came in after.
Yeah.
Did it not?
Yeah,
'Cause
that was after. That was a good 6-month phase. I still miss Duel Masters, man. That was
Never
a
got into
better game than Yu-Gi-Oh!
Right.
And it only lasted 6 months.
See, Yu-Gi-Oh was for me. It was going to like after school care. I'd have to go to after school care because my parents
Yeah.
were at work, and yes, they had jobs, and everyone had these Yu-Gi-Oh cards. And it was like a forcing. Never got into Pokemon cards.
No, me
at
neither.
all, but I knew everything about Yu-Gi-Oh cards,
Yeah.
and it was almost like my first chance. Well, the other thing that I really, probably the one thing I ever really got into that was an obscure thing was RuneScape.
Yeah, so did I. See, I've just spent like at least 2 months in every obscure thing. Fucking, I did RuneScape, I did Habbo Hotel, I did Neopets.
Yeah.
I've done it all.
I tried Habbo Hotel. I didn't like that because it wasn't like I could build anything out of it. I'd rather waste time building. See, the reason that I stopped playing RuneScape was, wow, I could literally have 99 wood cutting now if I'd spent this much time cutting actual wood. And I was like, holy shit, this is like a reflection on me and the
Yeah.
world, and this is how it works. It's like you just go out and you do one thing, you just keep doing it and spending
The
your time
Sims
doing
made
it.
me realize that, actually.
I didn't mind The Sims either.
Yeah, I loved it because I think I made my Sims character a successful radio host, and I was like, oh, all I did was raise his charisma skill, and then he was on radio.
Yeah.
Why don't I just do that for me?
Yeah.
And then it took me 8 years. It's a lot faster in The Sims. You can
Yeah,
speed it up.
Speed it up.
But
yeah.
you know, it's the same thing, except we're all speaking English.
Do you know, I've had this theory about The Sims, and this is literally just a theory. There's
I
no
love Sims
evidence
theory.
to back
It's
this up.
It's 100% true. You know, before you even said it, I know it's true.
But they're pretty smart. Like, you know, when you leave your Sims and they just go and like their hunger goes down, they get hungry and they just sort of go to the fridge and they do their own thing when you're not on that exact sim, and they function normally like they're fine. You can click back into them after like a day and you're like, oh, okay, they've gone to bed, they've done all the things they need to do. That same like AI could literally be implanted into humans. So what if this game, EA are just picking up on this is I know. What if they're picking up on what we do, so what we tell the Sims to do, and they go, all right, here's the averages, so a lot of them get them to do this, blah blah. Like you could probably download that data to some extent, or at least track it and go, all right, now this is how we give it to a fucking robot or whatever, and now it knows how to. I mean, it's not going to need to eat or piss or anything.
I thought this wasn't conspiracy anymore.
No, it's not. But I don't know.
It's got to come back every now and then.
It has to come back. I just think, well, if a computer game could do it,
it's interesting, man. There's so much data and shit. Like you look at what Facebook is selling to just people, and it's like I think that video games, they're probably already doing it.
Yeah.
Just like selling people's behavior, and the better the video games get, that's going to be the next thing. Like, VR is getting to be a big thing, and I was listening to, I think it was Gary Vee that said it, which blew my mind, but it's because it was so obvious, is that technology in VR is going to get so good where it will come a point where people will debate which one's real.
Yeah, I think so. It'll get to the point where someone will do something in a VR world that will be like, a shoot 'em up or something like that in a... like if I'm in a VR world and some guy's running at me with some sort of gun that hacks my VR world or something and I don't know. There's, like you remember that, oh fucking Jesus, I'm getting all staggered. Remember that game Second Life? It's still a thing.
Is it?
Yeah. It never got any bigger, but me and Sam were talking about it the other day and we were like, geez, there was something that was before its time, but something like that will come back out with when VR really, really ramps up. Like the potential to, steal things from people within a VR world that could be worth real world currency. Because in that game, you buy credits, which with real life money, and you buy land and you can build houses on it and stuff like that. If someone steals something from you in a VR world that is worth real life currency in exchange for it, is that still considered theft? Like where does that line get drawn? And, you've literally got to write up a whole new list of laws and that exist.
Well, who's to say that fucking Warcraft gold is any more real than the dollar I have in my pocket? Like it's literally just whatever value I apply to it. That's what it is. So if it came down to that, if it got to a court of law, they'd probably just come to the conclusion of, oh, well, our money is pretend, so we can't say that your pretend money is any less important. So I guess that was a crime. It's
like RuneScape. Like there was a massive thing where people would just get money and, sell it online and trade it in game for real life money and credits and stuff like that. And they're doing it on apps now. Like you go buy, I don't know what games still exist. That's the other thing. I think apps are done. I fucking love hearing when someone goes, I'm bringing out an app. I'm like, oh, here we go. Like when was the last time you downloaded an app?
I think I downloaded a Warhammer game and I played it for about 20 minutes and then I was like, oh, I hate my life. What am I doing?
But that's in your interest. Like, when have you ever gone, oh, there's a new app that everyone has that I've got to get to be a part of?
Yeah, that's true.
Because there's so many...
A lifestyle app. Because that was a game, actually. That's not really an app. That's a game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I guess, an app, man. Like, I don't know. I was almost... I was fucking angry when IGTV came out because it was another thing that I had to post to.
Yeah.
I think, and as a consumer who also watches stuff, I don't want to look at another fucking thing. I'm just praying for Snapchat to die so I can just post on Instagram stories and, like I think that, like lifestyle apps that everyone has and everyone needs. It's like, I don't know. Do you really need it? So I saw some company in Melbourne is I think it's Diddy. It's like Uber. And they're advertising, and I look at it, I'm like, dude, even if it's cheaper, I don't care. I'm not going to use it.
It's done. It's been done. Everyone's trying to invent the new version of Instagram or something like that. And you're like, you have to understand that those days where the market was competitive and people were vying for that space, it's done. These are billion-dollar corporations. Yeah. And cool, if you even get close to the point that Snapchat did, we'll just steal what you did. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you will never even... Snapchat would steal your shit before fucking Instagram got the chance to steal it from Snapchat. Like there's such a pyramid of it now that it'll just never happen. But I love app entrepreneurs. I think that's a cute thing. But there's going to be something else after that, and whether that be,
I think it's VR.
It's VR integration into apps. That's what Snapchat's going to save themselves with.
Yeah, I think it's all the VR stuff. Like with my comedy special when I was filming it, because we raised. If you guys don't know, I asked for 15 grand. I ended up making 50. So I had so much money extra that I wasn't planning on to play with. So I added in extra cameras, and then it was like this question of, do I take some money for myself or do I make it amazing?
Spend it on weed and hookers.
And I was looking at actually adding in like a 360 camera so you could watch it in VR, because I think it ended up being too hard.
Yeah.
But that's something that I think would be so cool.
Yeah.
And that's
Casey
the next
Neistat
thing.
did that at the Oscars, and it was just a really bizarre thing that it was at the Oscar. It was just revolutionary in the idea of being in a place that you never really thought you could do. But I mean, it's probably something you could look at in even next year, like those
the
headsets
next time I do a special, I really want to look at a VR thing, because I think that would be, I think stand-up especially, like I don't think music and live shows would work that well, because part of the music is jumping around and being bustled by other people, but a show like theatre or stand-up where you sit in a chair and you watch the stage and you hear, especially comedy, you would hear laughter around you. I think that would be fucking phenomenal for VR. And I'd love to do it, or even, you know. And then you know, there's the other thing of like, you put on a show, you sell 1,000 tickets there, and you sell fucking 100,000 for that one seat that's just a camera. You know, I think that's really the next fucking level.
Yeah, and they can't heckle you, which is even
I
better.
know. I don't mind a heckle though.
I love them, but geez, 100,000. Imagine if have you heard of this in real life streaming?
No.
IRL streamers.
Oh yeah, I've got a friend, Chad. Anything for views, he does it.
Right. Yeah.
And he's killing it.
It's going to be a huge thing. You know, Andy Milanakis was doing it. Yeah. First off for ages, but that's such a what is it? It's literally reality TV on crack.
Yeah, it's reality TV.
Yeah.
Like I was talking to Chad about it. He takes it's hilarious. He takes girls on Tinder dates,
right?
And he words them up beforehand so it's all good. He goes, I'm going to be streaming and we're going to go on a date. And you know, people pay $7 and the phone says, you know, the phone just yells out "cunt" in a restaurant, and then they tell him to do stuff or ask her questions, and then you know, he does ridiculous shit. Sometimes he doesn't like the girl, so one time it's fucking rude. I saw him just walk away from a girl, he didn't like her, but it's like, you know, that was for the entertainment of people watching at home. It's like, like what you said, it's reality TV on steroids.
I guess that's the scary thing though, is like making what is your literal reality at the time, everything that you're living in, and turning that into somewhat of a, you know, another entertainment. Like it is kind of Black Mirror-esque, where it's like, this is where it is going to, that I believe that in some point in the next 5 to 10 years, there won't be television. There won't necessarily be as many movies. We'll still have traditional content, but the content that we'll be consuming more over television and movies is each other's. So I probably spend more time looking at other people's Instagram content and YouTube content than I do watching professional, well-made documentaries and stuff like that. I already am. We already are living in that. What am I saying? But it will get to a point where everyone just has their own reality show, their own feed, and we're just all recording each other constantly.
It's interesting what it does to you. Like, you know, I'm trying to use my phone way less because I don't know, you just use it too much, and then I found myself, I'm like, I'm not fucking writing jokes because I'm just looking at my news feed. You know, I need to go out and do stuff. I can't write unless I do things. And experience new stuff. So I've started using it less, which has been great for writing. But then there's also like, you know, just like fucking now, because of Snapchat and Instagram stories, takes twice as long. I'm like, hey, I'm doing this, and all right, on the next app, hey, I'm doing this. All right, now send a tweet. Hey, this video's up. It's like,
it's a process to it. And that's something that I personally just couldn't keep up with in terms of it just got to a point where I was like, oh, fuck this. Like, I struggle now even putting up an Instagram story. I'm like, unless I'm ironically taking the piss. Like this morning, I was playing around. It's more just me playing around with the camera lens part of it and then going, oh, that's funny. I literally am going to take the piss out of the idea that this exists, that I can take this photo and put feeling cute on it and then upload it to over 100,000 people.
I saw that. You were looking cute, man.
I thought so as well. And just really like not take it as serious. But when you are taking it serious and it's like, this is your be all and end all and your career relies on making sure that this is out, this is out, it does get tiresome, like you're saying. And when they bring in a whole new feature, you're like, fuck, like I have to adapt to.
Now I gotta
this.
make vertical videos.
Yeah.
Because that was a thing where it's like, you know, you don't make vertical videos, so either you fuck around and you try and squish something to fit there, or you create a new thing just for that.
Yeah.
And I made one video just for IGTV, which I thought was funny, but I was just like, it wasn't like... I enjoyed doing it, but then I was like, all right, I guess I could do this. And then I looked at all the other shit that I was doing, and I was like, no, I can't. I don't have time.
Yeah. What else is next? I think with the Instagram TV thing, though, I love how it was hyped for like a day or two. And everyone was like, oh, I've got to jump on board. I've got to be the first one. I'm going to be a pioneer in this. This is great. I need the next new thing. And then it dies down very, very fast. I don't think they really knew what they were. I think they just tried to take on YouTube far too quickly. But what I find interesting is, do you remember when Instagram brought out stories? Yeah. And how no one used it for like the first 3 months. It was like this feature they brought out. It was the opposite, yeah.
I made a video about it saying fuck off because I didn't want it. And I was saying this wasn't going to work. Yeah. I was so wrong.
Yeah. And then just one day, like, what we're talking about is companies that just, they're going to make it work. They did not spend 12 months developing this, coding it, going back and forth with everything to have it sit there and not do anything. So they're like, okay, everyone knows about it. It's just going to sit there silently. And then all it's going to take is 1 or 2 people to start using it.
That's what happened to me. I watched myself do it. I was because you know, you're on Instagram anyway, and then there's these little things at the top, and you go, oh, maybe I'll do one, or I'll watch a few. And
you saw probably someone that you follow that you're inspired by, to a point you go, oh, they're making one, so all right, fuck it, I'll make one, and then eventually it becomes second nature, and then you're doing it. Twitch. Have you done Twitch yet? I would see you as someone that would be that would work on Twitch.
I was thinking of live streaming my podcast because that actually wouldn't be more work for me because I don't edit it anyway. It's it's the appeal of it is it's a bit shit. It's just me in my room talking for an hour. So I was thinking of maybe streaming the podcast.
What about World of Warcraft?
Yeah, I've thought about that too, but I was like, I was actually thinking seriously about streaming video games, but I had this thing of like, do I want to turn one of my leisure things into another work thing?
Right, I know what you're saying.
You know, like it could be good and I could make a bit of money out of it, but sometimes I just want to fucking play WoW and be a piece of shit. And also, it's great when I go on World of Warcraft, no one knows who I am. I got a guild, they fucking call me my name, and they have no idea that outside of WoW, I'm doing what I'm doing.
Yeah. Do you have a different name on WoW? So when you play, because I know with RuneScape they did the same thing. Is it full role play? Like you're fully like
you
basically...
can if you want. That's on different servers. So they have like role play servers and then they have regular cunt servers. And even the nerds playing WoW are like fucking role play nerds.
Yeah. So what do the role play nerds do?
They literally create a character. So they'll be like, I'm a night elf druid, and they write like a fantasy story about them, and they'll only speak in character. Like, you know, say when I'm playing, I'll be like, hey man, how's it going? And I'll say, hey Josh, how's it going? But a role play guy will be like, hey Bethelin, you know, would you come with this quest on me? We need to kill the kobolds and do all, like, you know, it's like it's literally being someone else.
Wow.
Full cosplay.
Yeah, I guess online cosplay.
It is. It's cosplay because you know when I play, people don't know that I'm Lewis Spears, but I'm still me. Yeah, you know. Yeah. I just don't have this thing attached to me. Yeah, which is cool.
Now, what about the Tall Guys website,
dude?
Tell me about that.
That is fucked. So if you guys don't know, I'm 6'8", which is like 2 meters tall. I think I'm the tallest comedian in Australia, which is pretty funny. Which I've never actually repped, which is kind of a weird thing. But anyway, me and Luke, we were doing our radio show, and we did a segment of just Google yourself. What can you find when you Google yourself? And Luke found some dumb articles about You Don't Own Me. I found some, you know, a whole bunch of the hoaxes and shit that I'd done tricking journalists. And then I scroll down to page 6 and I find this website called tallguysfree.com.
What a URL as
I
well.
know.
Free?
Yeah.
Is there a paid version of this?
I know. So I click it, and there's like so many photos of me and other tall guys as big or bigger than me with their shirts off. There's like a jacked category, a fat category. I was the thumbnail for lanky. And it's just photos. They'd obviously scrolled through my Instagram and they had screenshot. I have one photo of me shirtless, and it was a piss take of an Amy Schumer photo when she posted a photo of herself on the beach.
Right.
But they cut her out of it and put me on it.
Right.
So it's a fetish thing, dude.
I didn't know that tall was a...
Me neither. And they found every photo of me standing next to like a really short girl. They put up there, so to demonstrate the difference.
Comparison. Oh, fucking good on you, Zach.
Josh has his tour guide doing camera and sound.
Yeah, I literally have poor Zach. He's trying his best as well. And when we're sitting here, there's a few parts where we're telling stories. I look down, he's sitting on the ground with his legs crossed, having a good laugh like a kid. That's great. All right, so in the process, we'll get back to the special. In the process of making the special, before you go out on stage, and you know you're there probably a couple of hours before the show, making sure everything's set up. What's going through your head 30 minutes before, as people are starting to come in? You're like, fuck, okay, it's happening, it's here.
Yeah.
You know, what's that process like? Because you're also under a bit of financial pressure to make sure, even though you're doing it, you know, twice.
Yeah.
You still want to get it right.
Well,
both
yeah,
times.
you tape the show. So honestly, before I got on stage, I felt the most comfortable I've ever felt in my life because I don't know. I spent 4 years getting my stand up to the grade that it is, and then also my fan base to the point where I could raise money to do it.
Yep.
And it was like I felt like my whole life was leading up to that moment. Yeah. And I just felt like I don't know. And I still feel like everything went amazingly well. It was weird how comfortable I felt.
Yeah.
I think that the first night I performed it, I was a little bit rigid because like you said, I had to nail it. Yeah. Because you're filming
under that stress,
it. So I had to nail it. But the second night, because the first night went really, really well, I went on stage knowing, I can fuck this up and we can still use it. And because of that, the second night was obviously better.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. Like, it was this really good moment. I was surrounded by friends. Like, my girl was there. She was organizing the show. Luke was there. He was opening. Antonio, the director, had all the camera people sorted. And then I don't know. I felt great. Yeah. Which I suppose is good.
Yeah, well, yeah. I suppose having that luxury of being able to go, great, because I would probably be the same in those 2 nights. My first one would be like, fuck, I've got to get it right. Like, that would probably be I wouldn't be stressed, I wouldn't be nervous, but it'd just be like, I want to make sure I nail everything. Yeah. Because I know that I want that second show to be the leeway to be
Yeah, and I knew that as well because, like, Patrice O'Neill's comedy special, Elephant in the Room, I believe he did that 3 times. Yeah. And he did it first, and then he did it again, and they got it. And everyone was like, that's the special. And then the third night, he was like, I'm just going to fuck around. I got it. I don't need to do anything. And they used the third one because he got on stage, just pointed at someone with big boobs in the crowd, and then that was it. Like, the whole show was fucking electric. Yeah. So I was kind of going in with knowing that, as long as I nail the first one, A, I'll have a great comedy special, and B, I have a chance to top it. Yeah. You know, so I went on with that. Which was great. Did
you face any, after the shows when you were touring it regionally and stuff like that, and at the comedy festival, did you ever have? I'm sure you would have people that were, in the Dreamworld bits and some of the more controversial parts of the show. People that said anything after that maybe you might have taken it too far, or I mean, they probably wouldn't really come up and say it, but did you feel like there was any slight pushback on it?
There was a little bit with the Dreamworld stuff. Yeah. Like, mainly when I was first writing it, because my shows, I love doing fucked up stuff. I love doing dark humor. But at my show, for the Dreamworld bit, which is probably the most fucked up joke I've ever written, I have 40 minutes to prepare the audience for that.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Yeah.
I've got 40 minutes of, hey, it's all jokes, and progressively leading
Getting
them
there.
down the steps into hell.
Mhm.
And then I get to Dreamworld. So when I get to that point, they know that I'm joking.
Yeah.
But I suppose when I was writing Dreamworld and I was just going up and
Yeah.
doing it, like your first impression of me was, hey, did you hear about the accident that happened at Dreamworld? That's
Yeah.
when it's
Yeah.
a little bit rough. But I think, I don't know, I feel like the Dreamworld thing was the best joke I've ever written. And I feel like it's pretty clear that it was a joke.
Yeah.
And then it also finishes with me explaining why
Yeah.
it's a joke and not something to be offended by.
Yeah.
But there definitely were
Yeah.
people that were offended. I was very nervous doing it in Gold Coast,
Yeah.
like 100 meters away from where it happened about 2 months after.
Probably went better here than anywhere else.
Yeah, it killed here.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know why I was so scared.
Of course, it killed here. Killed at Dreamworld as well. Okay, so I guess then, what's next? Where do you
Yeah.
go from
I don't
here?
know, man. Because I decided to do the special probably about 6 months into my first year of stand up. Like, I'm
Yeah.
going to do this. I wanted to do it after year 3. Wasn't
Yeah.
good enough. Did it after year 4.
Yeah.
So now I'm just thinking, and I have a few ideas. Whatever seems ridiculous and impossible to me, but something that I really want to do.
Yeah.
There's a few different things, like, maybe I want to do an arena in Australia, or maybe I want to fucking get a TV show, or get a Netflix special. Like,
Yeah.
there's a lot of wild things that are floating around in my
Yeah.
head where I'm like, oh, that sounds impossible. Maybe I want to get on Drive with Luke and Lewis
Yeah.
nationally with the
Yeah.
radio show. I think I'm really trying to just enjoy the release of the special. It only came out like 2 weeks ago. I'm trying to just enjoy it and realize that I did something, because I don't want to fall into the trap of not appreciating shit because you're like, next thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
it was funny. The first day of release, everyone was watching it and they were sending me stuff like it was good. But one guy was like, man, amazing. When's the next one? And I was like, dude, it's been 4 hours. Give me a fucking break.
Yeah. That's the other one, is going touring and people go, loved your show tonight. When are you coming back? And I'm like, I just got here. Like,
Yeah.
next year. Like, I'm going back in 12 months, maybe.
Yeah.
Fuck. But that's good. I mean, you want people to also be that
Yeah,
keen
it
to
is good,
see
yeah.
you again. But yeah, it's so funny that people see that 1 hour, whatever
They
it
don't
is,
see they see the hour. They don't see the 3 years it took to
get
put
to
it
that
together.
point. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's great. You're at a point now where, in the next, couple of weeks and months, as everyone's seen it and it gets out there and all the DVDs are out there and everything starts to come back to normality, you're at a point where you can now pick again from the sky of, there's a million things I can do now. Like, your brain's not going to just be compromised on
Yeah.
just trying to get that thing done, because it's a massive thing. You can't do any more than just that. You'd go nuts trying to
Yeah, exactly.
focus on.
And while we were doing it, radio came out of nowhere, so
Yeah.
that was like threw a spanner in the works, and I suppose that's why it took a bit longer than we were planning on doing it, because I hadn't planned for radio at all.
Yep.
So that's a nice thing that's happening that I'm enjoying and I like to get better at, and I think really, man, I just want to like reset and just go back to basics and for a little bit and just keep doing videos. I'd like to get a lot bigger than I am now, because I want to end goal is an international comic, so there's a lot of work to do there to achieve that.
Yeah.
So I think I just want to kind of go back to basics, and then I honestly think that it'll just come to me one day and I'll be like, oh, that sounds ridiculous, I'm going to do it.
Yeah. Well, I can't wait to hear what it is. I'm sure it's going to be pretty fucking nuts. But kudos to you. I mean, I think that's the one thing that I love to see in people, and that I wish and I hope that everyone has that thirst and desire to come up with something crazy, to give people a lot of opportunity to go, you can't do that, and then go ahead and do it. And you've gone ahead and done that. For me, somewhat taking a step back from comedy and then going, well, like I always remember in primary school, specifically, I remember the day in preschool. I literally remember the day vividly when they said, what do you want to be when you grow up? And, everyone would draw like a fireman or, police, the 3 jobs that you can have in the emergency services, and that's it. They're the only jobs going in society. And me realizing, like, literally in that point, my brain going, why would you be just one thing? Like, what? You don't have to be just one thing. Like, if you decide tomorrow, if I decide, okay,
It
I'm
is
gonna be
kind of a
commi-
weird thing that you ask kids that. What do you want to be when you grow up?
Yeah.
It's like when's the next one? It's I don't fucking know.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm
Just
doing.
Let it happen.
Yeah.
Let it happen.
So
if you want to
ask a child, what do you want to be when you're a different person?
you could literally, the same day that you release your DVD, you could go out and get a job as a cleaner 2 days a week. And like, who's to say that's a bad thing for you to do? And who's to say anything? Like, I think people are stuck in this mindset of staying in their own lane. You pick one thing and you do it, and you just keep doing it. And that's good. If that's what you want to do, that's fine. But don't ever feel limited to what you can do. And you've gone from doing a bunch of different things. You're doing comedy, you're on the radio, you're in a bunch of different things. So, I mean, kudos to you, and I hope everyone else takes something from it and goes out and fucking does something with their own lives in that sense.
Fucking do it, man. Like, I've never been happier in my life. Like, because I felt like I really achieved something. And it might not seem big to someone else because it's not their thing, but I don't know. There's something special in saying in 4 years in 3 years I'm gonna do this, and then doing it in 4. It's cool.
It's long term, baby, but you did it.
Yeah.
All right, Lewis, thanks for coming on the show. All Lewis's links will be down below if you want to grab the DVD or get a digital.
It's also a download. It's not just a DVD.
Yeah,
you can stream it and download it.
The website will be down below in the comments. Go check out Lewis's podcast, iTunes, Spotify, and you've got a channel as well on YouTube.
Yep.
All that shit will be down below. Thanks for coming on, Lewis.
No worries. Thanks for having me. I'm glad to be back after was it the first
It was
episode?
the first one, yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
It's great.
I don't know what this is now. What is it? I think it'll be 59 or 60.
Fuck yeah. All right. I'll see you in 59 more.
Yeah. See ya.